What is up, Flockers? That is my fellow Lockers and aspiring Lockers. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best tools for interlocking when you're doing it at home yourself. So if you want to see those, then stick around. For all the DIY interlockers out there, your tool is pretty important because finding the perfect tool that fits you and that you feel comfortable with and that just fits into your regimen is really important. So I'm here today to kind of walk you through some of the ones that I have, and I'll let you know the one that I like the most, as well as other ones that you can use depending on the length of your locks, the thickness of your locks. All right, today I have three different types of, well, there's different variations, but three main types of retightening tools that you can use that I will be sharing with you. And also some useful tools that come in handy when doing a retie. So the first one that I will mention, and it is the wonderful, lovely bobby pin. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money. If you don't have it, if you want to do your retie and you're not ready to make an investment in the more expensive retightening tools, or you just simply can't find your retightening tools but you found a bobby pin. The great thing about the bobby pin is that you can put it on your lock. Now, granted, it depends on the type you have. Not every bobby pin is created equally, so the ones that are even and flat on both sides might not work, but this one works because it's got those like little alligator teeth, so it can stick on your lock. So you can just literally wrap your lock around it a couple of times if your locks are not too thick, and then you can use the rounded end to go through your rotation. Now granted, I just retightened my hair a few days ago, so I don't have much space to go through, so I'm not actually gonna be passing it through. But you can see that you can get it through and you can pass it through to do your rotation. So again, the bobby pin is probably the cheapest because you can get a ton of these. Well, there's another cheap one, but that's a very cheap option. Now these I got off of Amazon, and I don't remember how much I paid for them. I'll put them in the description box. They weren't super expensive, but they were definitely more expensive than bobby pins and more expensive than the plastic ones that I'll show in a little bit. Now, if you have short locks, these probably aren't gonna be your best friends simply because they are long and they are metal, so they don't bend. There's no give with these. There are versions that look like these that are plastic, and the ones that are pliable are probably better just because you can actually bend them. But if your locks are longer and you can actually get your lock on them, these are nice because they have this little like smaller area at the top. So that way once you thread your lock through, you can pull your lock up to that little thinner part so that your lock stays on it. And this one has it too. So there's one that has a like inward curve, and then there's this other one that has this like side curve. So depending on your preference and what you like, but it's nice because there's a very thin point on it so that you can get it through and make sure that you're not combining locks. But because, like I said, this is metal, it's not going to bend. This might not be the best option for you if your root is very small and doesn't have a lot of hairs in it, because you don't want to be forcing it through and pulling it to the point where it's snapping hairs off. So if you have a thicker base or you have one that bends, then maybe that works for you. But yeah, you never want to be forcing your locks through the roots of your hair, because you can snag your hair out and cause thinning. All right, and my favorites and what I use all the time are the simple plastic ones that you can get from Amazon, or you can get them from a store like Walmart, but they're just like threading needles, I think, or whatever they're called. But this is the size that it started. There's like three different sizes. There's a small, which this one is small, a medium, and a large, and I literally just cut it in half and whittle it so that I can get a point. And I like this one simply because they're super cheap. They come in a pack of a lot, so you pay barely anything. Same thing, I'm able to thread my lock through. And now, because this is so short, regardless of whether I have long locks or short locks, I'm able to get it in. Even when I get up to the last couple of rotations, I'm not having to worry about it pulling through the root of my locks, just because the whole thing is really small. From the bottom of it all the way up to the eye, even the eye is small. and so it's not gonna cause a lot of tension going through. You can just see the difference in thickness. It's almost twice the size, if not twice the size. Yeah, trying to get this through the base of your lock compared to trying to get this through the base of your lock can make a big difference. So you have to be careful when you're using the lock tools not to be stressing your locks. And then these tools, which aren't specifically used for the interlocking process. There is a tool like this that has the latch on it. And so those that like to do the latch hook, you can also retighten your locks that way. I've tried it and I personally do not like the latch hook method for retightening my lock, so I do not use that, although I do have one somewhere. I have no idea where it is just because I never use it. But these I do use, and specifically these wooden ones that I got from Amazon, because I don't know how well it comes off on camera, but these ends are super fine, really, really tiny. This one is thicker, and so I wouldn't use this one, but these, they're what, 0.75 millimeters, and these have come in such handy and saved my life, especially when it comes time to retie in the back of my hair and back of my head, where I have a lot of loose hairs and flyaways that are coming and growing out of the lock. Before I go in and do the interlocking portion, I can go in and I can just take this and pull those hairs on through, because it's so fine that it goes directly into the lock, and they're so small that it's not too big, even though I have Microlocs, and I can go in and just do like that and crochet the hair and kind of pull it back in to the lock before doing the interlock process. So that's why I keep these in my bag now, and it's actually one of the flockers that recommended me to try this, because I was having issues with flyaways and they said, have you tried using the crochet hook to pull that all in? Don't know why I didn't think of it before, but so glad that I thought of it now, and now it is definitely a part of my retie regimen. And just even in between, you know, if I feel like the flyaways are getting a little bit too much on a lock, I'll just go in there and tighten it up. If you found this video helpful at all, make sure to hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button so that you can join the flock. And while you're here, make sure to check out some of the other videos that have popped up on the screen. I'll see you there.